Okay guys, recently I took a month off of YouTube and today I'm talking about why. We passed 1,000 subscribers 2 months ago and it was a huge milestone for me. I was so excited. As my channel's been growing and getting bigger, I've been facing the vulnerability that comes with being visible. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and visible also opens you up for a lot of rejection, a lot of lashback from people who don't necessarily agree with your opinions or what you're doing. The visibility is challenging me to face these feelings and be more solid in what I'm doing and how I'm backing it up. I think all of this came to a head last month when I had this experience with my daughter and my neighbor. But before I jump right into that story, I wanted to let you know that since I've left the church, we've been trying to rebuild our community. And what that looks like is seeing who from our old community can still love and support us, and obviously being so grateful for them and keeping them a part of our community, but also that included finding new people and making new relationships. Because I live in a Mormon dominant community and a little bit because I was raised Mormon, a lot of the people that I end up connecting with happen to be Mormons, which I'm totally fine with because I think Mormons are great people. And I think where this gets tricky is I know that I can love them, but I'm super worried that I have something in me that they will not be able to accept and that me and my family will be rejected if it ever comes to light. And that's where the struggle is. So on to my story. I'm walking home with my neighbor and our children from school. And my neighbor says something about Facebook in our conversation. And my daughter picks up that Facebook is a social media platform. And she goes, "Oh, you do social media? My mom does social media too. She has a YouTube channel." And I was like, no. And I was like, just trying to shut it down. I'm like, "Yep, I do." And then I tried to veer the conversation a different direction as quickly as possible. But my daughter doesn't drop it. She keeps going back to it and is like, "Yeah, she does such a good job. You should watch it. You would love it. It's called My Great and Spacious World." And I'm just like totally freaking out inside because I know that this new friend I've made is Mormon and I don't want her to watch my channel and be offended, and I don't want to lose her as a friend. And I don't want to lose their family as a friend. Like, our kids are friends and they play together, and her kids are amazing. They treat my kids so well, and my kids are so happy being their friends. Like, in my head, I'm like, I don't want this to ruin what we have. You know, we've already felt isolated and lonely, and I'm just getting back to a spot where I feel like we have community and I'm accepted, and now this channel that I've made is going to ruin it. And it's like, not that I don't stand by my channel, not that I don't stand by what I've said. I just also don't want it to ruin the life I have. In that moment, in pure terror and fear, I said, "I actually think you shouldn't watch my channel, and I'm super embarrassed that this has even come up, and I really don't want to talk about it." And my neighbor is way more mature. She's so mature. She set up a safe space for me and asked why I had so much anxiety behind it. And I told her this channel is a channel where I talk freely about my experience leaving the church and what it's like to be an ex-mormon. And I told her that I knew that she was Mormon, and that's why I am concerned about her watching it, because I'm concerned that my opinions might be offensive. She was amazing and just reassured me that, like, she's an open-minded person and that she can respect other people's views. And I don't know whether she watched it or didn't watch it, but it was such a beautiful experience. So after that experience, I did a lot of thinking about my reaction and her reaction. And I wanted to take some space away from my channel and decide and be curious about what happened in that situation. I was really worried that my first reaction was to get small and hide and not own what I do or what I believe. And I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to protect myself, and I'm doing it to protect my children. So I understand that that's what the fear that I'm acting out of. But I also know that's not how I want to show up in my life. So I also did a lot of self-reflection about like, is this feeling just coming from fear of rejection, or are there things that I'm saying that I actually don't stand by? And if so, I need to make sure on this channel I'm representing myself better. If I can't stand by it, I shouldn't post it. If I have this feeling because I'm doing something wrong, then I need to adjust how I'm doing things. And if I'm having this feeling because I'm afraid of rejection, I need to decide how I'm going to cope with rejection. And I just need a time to really think deep about that and figure these things out for myself. I'm also so lucky because during this time I had an opportunity to reach out to one of my best friends who is also a faith transition vlogger. And you guys probably know her. It's ex-Morgan from my spiritual life. I talk to Morgan a lot, and she's so great at holding space. We really got down to the bottom of it, like what I'm so afraid of. And it really is that my kids are going to face rejection because of what I'm doing and where we live. She's great because she validated that fear for me, saying like, well, of course your instinct is to protect your children. Like that is a natural instinct. We also talked about how I'm afraid of rejection, and how I am trying to deal with that is every day I get up and I look in the mirror and I say, I give people permission to misunderstand me. And that's how I'm trying to cope with rejection. And now that I know I'm like so afraid of how my kids will be treated, I'm trying to tell myself that like my kids are strong enough to make it through hard things, and I will be there for them no matter what happens. And trying to realize that like even if my kids don't face rejection from their mom being a ex-mormon vlogger, they're going to face rejection in other ways anyway, and they're going to have to learn to deal with rejection. I can't protect them from rejection. I've realized that I'm working on facing rejection for myself, and when I do that, I will have tools that I can pass on to my kids, and they're going to face rejection no matter what I do. I can't protect them from it, but I will be more able to help them if I've been willing to deal with it myself. This also made me think about all the women who fought for women's rights. And because of what they did, I grew up in a world where I had rights. Like I had rights to vote, I had rights to an education. I was raised in a society where I could believe that I could be anything I wanted. And that's all because of what those women did. But what those women did was not popular. And they did face a lot of rejection, a lot of persecution, a lot of hardship to give me the life that I had now. I've always been grateful for the military service, the military branches who have like fought for my freedom. And of course, when you're asked like, would you stand up to protect your life, your freedoms, other people's rights? It seems easy to say, yes, of course I would. Actually facing it is much harder than I realized. So I have even more gratitude now for people who stand up for themselves and for other people like them, and way more respect for people that are way more visible than I am. There's lots of people that are doing the same thing I'm doing, but are much more visible and facing a lot harder things than I'm facing. And I just have that much more gratitude to all those people. So that is what I have been through this past month. I've decided to keep the videos coming. I'm really excited about some videos I have coming up. One will be a question and answer. Ask me anything. I will answer it in a future video. Leave that in the comments. Also, I want to do another video about why did we stay? So tell me in your words in the comments, why do you think Mormons stay? What do you think kept you in when you were in? I'm going to be doing a whole episode on that as well. If you want to continue to support me in doing this channel, you can do that by giving this a thumbs up, leaving a comment down in the comment section, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you next time. Until then, keep your world great and spacious. Bye.